Share the links around with your friends and your family. Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you are looking your best today. Please, anybody who spams this chat, you will not like what I will do for you. I go find you. I go get your IP address. I go find you. I go beat you today. Just try me first. But I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But please, do not spam. Don't.
Um, yeah, somebody's already spamming. Oh,
Okay, I'll find the person out now.
Yeah, the Oppo guy, that's his
Is
name.
that's his name, Abby? Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah,
I don't.
Oppo CPH2235, that's his name.
Yes, I've seen him. I've seen him.
Correct.
Thank you.
I'll find him. Okay. Who else is who is this thing? What's his name? Is Chukudi Ibe on this call or any of our admin? Are they on this call? We are not recording yet. I want to know if Chukudi Ibe is on this call. I want to make him also like a co-host as well. So good evening, everybody. Now, okay, Defi, are you here?
yes, present, sir.
All right, I'm going to make you a co-host right now. All right, so that when you find anybody who is spamming the chat, please remove the person instantly.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I've made you.
I'm available to block the person.
All right. So okay, Miss Becky as well. So let me see. I've made you a co-host as well. So we have Miss Becky as a co-host. Bishop is a co-host, and also Alhaji Scofield is a co-host as well. So I need to confirm if we can hear me. And also, I want to be sure that everybody can we confirm if we are live on YouTube and if it's fine. I want us to put some fire emoji. I want us to put some fire emoji. Let's go, guys. We are laying more bricks. Tonight is really going to be an amazing one. It's really going to be an amazing one. All right. So we want to keep laying the bricks. How was yesterday's session? It was mind blowing. Yesterday's session was, it was something else. It was something else. Good evening, everybody. So I want to be sure those of us that are connected on YouTube, all right. YouTube, our brothers and sisters from YouTube, can you hear us? Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? If you can hear me, right, those of us that are joining on YouTube, I need drop some fire emoji. Drop some fire emoji. All right, drop some fire emoji. All right. Alhaji Schofield is here for us tonight already. Good day for you. Alhaji Schofield is here with us already. All right. So this is 8:05. Good evening, everybody, and happy Sunday. Today happens to be 24th of May, 2026, and my name once again is Fortman, and it is with so much delight in my heart that I'll be hosting my brother and my friend Alhaji Schofield. We've been together for a while, and he has been an amazing person. All right, I mean, amazing person in and out, and also an amazing trader. All right. This session tonight means a lot to me, and it also should mean a lot to you as well. All right. We don't hoard knowledge. We don't hoard informations like this that can transform our trading industry, our trading career. So what we are going to do in 1 minute, like we always do. So let me quickly say this before I hand over to Alhaji Schofield. All right. Before I hand over to Alhaji Schofield. I want us to take a screenshot. No, before we take a screenshot, I want to give a big shout out to each and every one of you. Because when you check your X page, use the search icon, all right, you will see that the Final Quest Bootcamp is trending. So when you check your X page, your own personal X page, your X page, and you click on the search icon, like you want to see like today's news that is trending, the Final Quest Bootcamp has been trending since yesterday. And this is to let you know that, I mean, we would not have been able to achieve such a feat without each and every one of you, without your active participation. I mean, so this is from the depth of my heart to each and every one of you to say that I love you so much. I love each and every one of you And it's an honor and a privilege for us to be doing this together. All right. I really love each and every one of you. And I'm giving a big shout out to each and every one of you to say thank you so much. All right. And somebody say you love me past your babe. No, don't love me past your babe, I beg. All right. So, but we are going to do it again today. We're not just going to trend, we're not just going to be at the top of the news just yesterday and today. We are also going to do the same thing again. So we have over or close to about 400 people that are streaming tonight. We know that there are other people that will still join. Yesterday we were over 1,220 people that streamed live, the live session. So what we are going to do tonight, for those of us that are on Zoom, for those of us that are on YouTube, I want us to take a screenshot and we're going to be making a tweet. You are going to be using the hashtag SLK. You will use the hashtag the Final Quest 2026 and make a tweet about day three. That day three, we are having Alhaji Schofield in our midst. Schofield is going to be taking us tonight. All right, it's going to be an amazing one. So take a screenshot, each and every one of you. We can do it together. Let's just do this for 1 minute. All right. So this is 8:08 by 8:10. All right. By 8:10, we would be kicking off with the bootcamp. So let's just do this in the next 1 minute. Take a screenshot. If you are hearing me on YouTube, if you are here on Zoom, take a screenshot and let the world know on X that the day three of the Final Quest Bootcamp is currently on. Day three of the Final Quest Bootcamp is currently on. And don't forget to use the hashtag Final Quest Bootcamp 2026. Use the hashtag SLK and also tag myself, tag Alhaji Schofield. And so all right, we are already, let me just be honest with you. Let me just give you guys one secret, all right? We are already picking people that are already actively participating. We are going through your tweet, we are going through your page, we are seeing your active participation, and those that are on our team are already picking people that would be a people that would benefit from the account that our sponsors are actually giving out. So by 8:10, we're going to be kicking off. All right, so let's go. Day three, hashtag Final Quest Bootcamp 2026 and hashtag SLK. Tag myself, tag Alhaji Schofield. You can tag DeFi Bishop, you can tag Ichiban, you can tag Henry as well. But make sure we need to make that mighty noise. We need to make that wave on X as well, like we did yesterday. So, like I said, we're already actively paying attention to each and every one of us that are actively participating. All right. And we are picking people already. We've started to pick people for the account. And big shout out to all our sponsors, Goat Funded. W's Goat Funded in the chat. Big shout out to Blueberry Funded. W's Blueberry Funded. Big shout out to Mech Funded, and big shout out to um, Equity Edge. All right. A big shout out to all our sponsors. They made this year's experience for Final Quest Bootcamp more than an experience. It's one thing for people to come and just learn, but I love to see people put into action what they are learning. All right. And these prop firms have chosen to partner with this vision, and what we are actually doing to ensure that people don't just have the knowledge, people also have the necessary require the necessary aid or the necessary equity to aid their trading. All right. So let's go. So day three, SLK, hashtag SLK, hashtag Final Quest Bootcamp. All right. And you can even use hashtag King of Thursday Expansion, because if you have ever been wondering how Schofield positions himself on Thursday's expansion, tonight is that time. It's going to be pouring out. It's going to be pouring out. So this is 8:11. It's about time for us to start. Once again, my name is Fortman, and I want to use this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you. For those of you that are on Zoom, Zoom is currently maxed out. And for those of us that are connected on YouTube, I want to say a very big shout out to each and every one of you. You guys are the real MVPs. All right. And to every members in the team of Benjamin Protocol, for those of us that are in the management team, for those of us that are in the PR team, and to all of Benjamin Protocol educators, we want to say a very big thank you for the steadfast efforts that you guys have poured into this bootcamp. All right. I mean, a win for one is a win for all. So I'm so excited to see that we are all winning together. All right, and I just want to say thank you to the team members and also the active participants across Zoom and YouTube. Tonight we have the king of Thursday expansion, Alhaji Schofield, my brother and my friend. Um, Such an amazing man. Such an amazing man. I love and I honor him personally. All right. And tonight we're going to be having him share with us the logic behind Thursday's expansion, how we can position ourselves for Thursday's expansion. In fact, you remember what I always say to us on Telegram: drink deep or taste not the spring. So tonight we're going to be drinking deep. Guess who we are going to be having tomorrow as well? FZ. And the last day on Tuesday, we're going to be having a Motayo as well. So we are laying the bricks. We are laying it brick by brick, right? We are laying it brick by brick. All right. So Alhaji Scofield, are you ready for us? We are ready to receive from you. You can share your
Yes,
now
sir.
W's. Yeah. And also, let's do something before Alhaji Scofield continues. We have over or close to 500 people on YouTube right now streaming. Please help us like the live stream. Help us like the live stream. Like the live stream on YouTube. Help us like the live stream. If you are on YouTube and you can hear me, if you are on Zoom and you can hear and you have access to the YouTube link, please like it. All right. Let's try as much as possible to like this live stream. Let's like the live stream. All right. Let's give it a like. All right. Let's go, guys. Let's go. So let's like the live stream. It helps us to reach a wider audience. It expands our reach. So if you're on YouTube, don't forget, like the live stream, just one button away. Don't forget, drink deep or taste not the spring, the spring, and make sure you also subscribe. All right, make sure you subscribe. Alhaji Schofield, over to you. You can share your screen. We are ready to receive you. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you very much. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Can we? I want to believe you can hear me clearly.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. So just give me a few seconds. I'm trying to say something. All right. Good evening, everybody. It's such a delight to be speaking tonight. A very big thank you to Fourth Man. I mean, without this man, I do not know what would be of me right now. So, thank you very much, Fourth Man. So yeah, here is something. So can you see my screen as well? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is something I want every one of us to know. The essence of this bootcamp is for you to dominate. That is why something has been emphasized right from the very first day, which is that no one is holding anything back. So the essence of this bootcamp, like I said, Final Quest, is for you to dominate, because you need to understand that if you do not dominate, you will be dominated. So the primary essence of this bootcamp, the core essence of why no one is holding anything back, is for you to dominate. All right, so right here we have on our screen storyline and how you can always capitalize on Thursday expansions. I need to put out a caveat right now. Thursday expansion isn't a strategy. All right, it isn't a strategy. I would even say, just like storyline is a topic, Thursday expansion isn't even a subtopic per se. It is, and I feel like it is subjective. To you it can be Monday expansion, to you it can be Tuesday expansion, to you it can be Wednesday expansion, or let's just generalize it as daily expansion. All right, so this is a way you can always approach your chart every day. So everything I'll be talking right now, I'm not talking solely for Thursday. I'm talking for Monday, I'm talking for Tuesday, I'm talking for Wednesday, I'm talking for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays for the synthetics and for the crypto traders. All right, so let us have that at the back of our mind. Thursday expansion isn't a strategy. All right, so I need to chip in something for every one of us right now. We need to understand that I wouldn't want anyone to limit themselves to what I will be talking about tonight. So, which means one thing you need to do for yourself is for you to study. All right, the chat is for every one of us. The chat isn't only meant for fourth man. It isn't only meant for Kelvin King. Neither is it meant for Scofield or any
Hey,
other
shut
person.
the fuck up.
Please, it is our this thing already for you to always mute your microphone. Thank you very much. All right, so the chat is for you. You have the chat at your disposal, which means everything I'll be saying tonight, everything every speaker has talked about from the very first day, it is only right for you to pay attention to it on your, for you to be able to experience it, for you to be able to visualize it and even execute on them, so you do not limit yourself to what those speakers have been talking about. Because it's not enough for you to listen to everything I'll be saying tonight. You definitely need to get into the chat and to ensure that you're able to replicate every bit of everything. One thing I love to say is you cannot cook jollof rice in your imagination. You have to get into the kitchen. You cannot bet a child in your imagination.
NBA is sending me very inappropriate stuff.
Please mute your microphone. You cannot cook jollof rice in your imagination. You have to get into the kitchen, which means it is in that place of execution that is when everything is done. Success is not for those who are doing it. It is not for those who know how to do it. It is for those who are doing. All right. It isn't for those who know how to do it. Most importantly, it is for those who are doing, which is where execution comes in. All right. So let me just create something. Let me tell us a very brief story right now. Not a story per se. It is something it is something that has happened around us. So let us say we have two students right now. Two students that have access to the same information. Same information here means the same tutor, the same teacher, the same teaching hours, everything the same. But at the end of the day, one person might come out to be the best student, while the second person might end up coming out to be the otherwise. The difference in both of them is the quality of that person. Which means right here, right now, you have access to everything that has been shared from day 1, day 2, day 3, down to day 5. But then, the quality of who you are matters. It isn't just about the quality of the information you are getting. Solid information, right? A Final Quest. All right. Definitely. One thing you need to pay attention to right now is the quality of who you are, the quality of your person. So this is
Mookie Jr., let's find the Moose Man, baby. Let's find the Moose Man, baby. The Moose Man's coming. I love children. I love children. I love children, everybody. Children are in my basement.
Do movement.
all right. All right, so like I said, the quality of who you are matters. So talking about storyline, Kevin King laid a very beautiful foundation about this yesterday when he said a lot, and my notepad was so filled up yesterday. Storyline is also the same thing as building bias, or you might also want to call it directional bias. So everything they are like the same thing. So do not let anyone deceive you by telling you storyline is different from bias or directional bias. They are all the same thing. They are just like synonyms. So I might be using the words interchangeably. All right, I might be using the words interchangeably, so do not get confused. I'm still talking about the same subject topic, which is storyline. All right. So when it comes to storyline, there are a few things we need to pay attention to when it comes to storyline. So, Kelvin King said something yesterday. He said before you're able to even build your bias, you need to have an understanding of the structural environment you are in. And on Monday we treated structure. We said we have the bullish environment and then the bearish environment, and as well the phases of the markets that we have the expansion and then the reversal phase. In the bullish environment, the bias you have in the bullish environment, that is your expansion phase, which means you're in a bullish environment, of course, because price has been breaking structure to the upside. And then the sales you have in that bullish environment, that is your reversal. All right. So in a bullish environment, you'd find sells, and the same thing applies to the bearish environment as well. So which means before you're able to build your storyline, definitely you need to know, am I bullish or am I bearish? Which means you're paying attention to this guy. So treating structure independently isn't a waste of time. There's no trader you'd see out there. There's no trader you'd find out there or anywhere that wouldn't pay attention to structure. Right here we trade SLK. SLK stands for structure, liquidity, and key level, which means liquidity is important, key level is important, but then we are subjecting both to structure, liquidity, key level. Yes, liquidity is important, key level is important, but then we are subjecting both to structure. So structure is as important to trading in the same way a foundation is important to a building. So I'm trying to lay the foundation right now, so we can all be inclined by the time it gets more serious. When it comes to storyline, it is okay for you to build your bias from the higher time frames, that is from the likes of your monthly time frame, from your weekly time frame, and then from your daily time frame. And then when it comes to, there is no way we can talk about storyline without talking about entries. That is more like, say you want to travel, I'm showing you the park without actually telling you where, without actually showing you the bus that is going towards your direction. So I wouldn't be dwelling very much on entries because I believe the other speakers would do much justice to all of that, but then I'll just do some surface level about the entries. So it is okay for us to video bias from the monthly, from the weekly, and from the daily time frame. And then when it comes to entries, you can look for your entries from the likes of your H4 time frame, from your H2. See, this guy right here is a very underrated time frame, so you need to always pay attention to this one right here. All right, so you need to always pay attention to this guy, this H2 time frame, and then for your H1 time frame. And if you are comfortable trading the minute time frame, you can pay attention to your M30 as well. And if you know that you are comfortable going lower, try as much as possible not to go beyond 15 minutes. So so try as much as possible not to go beyond 15 minutes. So for your entries, pay attention to H4, H2, H1 primarily. Am I saying you cannot build your bias in the H4 time frame now? No. You can build your bias in the H4 time frame, but one thing you need to pay attention to is that whatever it is you are doing on H4, it has to be in alignment with what you have on this monthly, weekly, and the daily time frame. All right, so let's move forward right now. So when it comes to storyline, like I said, you can build your bias in the monthly, using the weekly, and using the daily time frame. So talking about storyline right now, you're paying attention to the things you have to pay attention to. The first thing you're paying attention to, time frame alignment. It is important for me to know that, for you to build a beautiful storyline and for you to be on the safer side of the market. If your monthly is bearish, if your weekly is bearish, if your daily is bearish, it does not, I wouldn't say it does not make any sense, but then you need to know that anything else you are doing aside what you have been able to define on these three guys, it is reversal. And the problem is that a lot of persons, they find it difficult to actually, differentiate the reversal phase and the expansion phase. For instance, I know right here, talking about time frame alignment right now, I know right here that my monthly is bearish, my weekly is bearish, and then my daily is bearish. So if I ever see bullish setup on the likes of, say, H4, H2, H1, if I ever see a bullish setup on the likes of H4, H2, H1, definitely the purpose of this bullish setup right here is to take us into where the bearishness would continue from. This is daily time frame, for instance. So, price has stopped there currently, and maybe on your H2 time frame or your H1 time frame, you have this structure around this area. The primary purpose of this guy is to take you into where this bearish expansion would continue from. That is the primary purpose of this guy. So it is okay for you to not even engage this. That is if you are the kind of person that finds it difficult to define your structural phase. So understanding your structural environment is important. You also need to know that understanding the phase of the market you are in is also important. Someone right now who is finding it difficult, who does not even know the difference between the expansion phase of the market and then the reversal phase. This person might buy this guy right now, and one thing this guy wants to do is to target this guy on the daily time frame. No, it is not done that way. In a situation like this, you would end up turning a winning trade into a losing or even a break-even trade, and then you'd start saying, "Oh, market is not balanced. Market has changed." Market has not changed. It is you who the statement market has changed. The market is somehow recently. That is more like something a lot of persons say now to console themselves, which shouldn't be so. It's the mystery loves companion, and you shouldn't be that kind of person. Say not me. That shouldn't be you. All right. Do not, a lot of persons, whenever they see that, oh, they've taken a loss, they are quick to check Twitter, they are quick to pay attention to their WhatsApp status, to also see if someone else also takes that, if someone else also takes that kind of loss, then they'll be like, oh, no, be only me chop this SL, I'm okay. What does that change anything? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. So talking about time frame alignment, this is one thing you need to pay attention to. You need to ensure that whatever trades you are taking, it has to be in alignment with the direction you've been able to define from your higher time frame. That's why it is very important for you to pay attention to building your bias. For you to build your bias from the monthly, from the weekly, and from the daily time frame. Personally, I would tell you a very real life experience right now. Me, every time, it is very possible for you to pay attention to whatever is happening on your daily, on Monday, you were actively on the chart, until you were actively on the chart on Wednesday. Based on the fact that I feel like I've been on the chart from Monday, Tuesday, definitely, somehow you tend to get carried away that I forget to pay attention to what my daily time frame is saying. One thing I've observed is that 90% of the time, real life right now, 90% of the time I end up taking a loss. That is because I did not check what my daily time frame is saying. The fact that you've been on the chart on Monday, on Tuesday is not enough reason for you to not pay attention to your higher time frames. That is your compass. Your daily time frame, your higher time frames are your compass as you guide the direction you're trying to build, as you guide as you guide where you're trying to trade towards for that day. And then when it comes to storyline as well, there is something I refer to as W questions. So you need to be able to answer a few questions even before you put money on the line. And what are those questions one must be able to answer? So the first of it is you must be able to answer the question of where price is coming from. That's the first W. There are about 3 of them. So I won't be annotating this because I'm trying to watch my time right now. So the first of them is that you must be able to answer the first W, which is where is price coming from? W questions, where is price coming from? The second question is where is price currently, which means you are paying attention to the current state of price action, the current state of the market. Where is price currently? What is price doing right now? That is what you are doing as regard that second question. And then the last question is where is price likely headed towards? So someone was spamming yesterday and asking, how do we do about targets? So maybe this meeting is for you right now. So let's take, for instance, say on the weekly time frame, so let's just have something very quick right now. Okay, so let's say this is daily time frame. Right here, right now, daily time frame is bearish based on the simple information we have right here. So based on, this is the overall direction, high, low. Yes, high, low, lower, high, lower, low. And so, which means everything that price does from here, all of this right now is just, it's okay for you to see your entry right there. Which means, where's price coming from? Okay, so let me make this more, okay, maybe price came from this area. So where's price coming from? Price is coming from this place. What is price doing currently? That is, maybe you found your entry right there. As regard where price is coming from, you can spot that on the same time frame you are building your bias on. And as regard where price likely headed towards, you can also spot that on the same time frame you are headed towards. All right. So when it comes to the question of what is price doing currently, you can spot that on the same time frame you are building your bias on, but then you might not find a detailed context for that on that same time frame you are working on. So which means you need to go to a lower time frame. Could be the immediate lower time frame, or it could also be the other lower time frames. So yeah. So for instance, right now, going into a lower time frame right now, you can see a defined range on that lower time frame, which means so right now I can work with this. So now where are you targeting for this guy? This entry you've gotten in your lower time frame, this is your target. Where's price likely headed? You know, we are bearish, which means price can get here and change direction from here. W questions: where is price coming from? What is price doing currently, and where is price likely headed? So I need to run right now. I need to run. So let us move on. So moving on right now. So we've been able to talk about time frame alignment, and then we've been able to talk about the W question. So how do you actually beat bias? So some wouldn't be saying, Scofield, you talk too much. You have not spoken about what I'm actually here for. So yes, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to lay a foundation so you don't get caught up in the too many things I'll be talking about. So when it comes to storyline, you know, you can build your bias using key levels. You can build your bias using liquidity, and you can also build your bias using imbalance, that is FVG. All right, so you can build your bias using those three, but then I'll be talking about just one of them, because at the end of the day, the same thing validates every one of them. So talking about how you can build your bias using key levels right now. And one thing you need to understand is that a storyline that begins on a key level ends on another opposing key level. All right, so which means key levels can be used as your entry and as your exit. Liquidity can be used as your entry and as your exit. Imbalance can also be used as your entry and as your exit. You know, my chairman said, Scofield, do not hold anything back. So I'm just riding on on the mandate he gave me. So for instance, right now, this is a V-shaped key level right here. And let us say this is a weekly key level. So from here, I'll be saying a lot of things, so I need your rapt attention from here. All right, so just in case you've been wondering, I mean, how do I actually go about how I take some trades? I'll be talking about everything right now. So this is a V-shaped level right here. So, you know, a V-shaped level, of course, we know that is where we want to buy from until proven otherwise. So, of course, one thing we are paying attention to right here, we are paying attention to this rejection. At this V-shaped level, we are paying attention to this rejection. So this is your rejection right here of this V-shaped key level. So we are paying attention to, okay, so you're paying attention to this rejection, but you need to note something. This rejection is not enough for you to actually buy this guy. This rejection isn't enough, which means you need to go, you need to validate it. And how do you validate this guy? So that means you need to go to your immediate lower time frame. If you're on the monthly time frame, your immediate lower time frame is the weekly time frame. If you're on the weekly time, if you are bidding your bias on the monthly time frame, your weekly time frame is your immediate lower time frame. If you are bidding your bias on the weekly time frame, your daily time frame is your immediate lower time frame, and so on and so forth until you get to your 1 minute time frame. That is if you're a 1 minute man. So the rejection is not enough, so you need to pay attention to your one time frame now, that is the immediate lower time frame. So like I said, this example right now, this is a weekly time frame. So right now we have a weekly reject weekly. So weekly rejects weekly simply means a weekly candle that has rejected off a weekly key level. All right, so the first criteria is that you're paying attention to this rejection. All right, the first criteria is that you're paying attention to this rejection, which is what I have right here. I'll talk about everything as regards this number one after now. All right, the first thing you're paying attention to is this rejection. This rejection is not enough for you to want to buy, for you to just buy, but then which means you need to go one time frame lower. Going one time frame lower from our weekly time frame means we are going into our daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, what are we paying attention to? You're paying attention to a breakout structure or a breakout on your one time frame lower. So yeah, I like my things very perfect. I'm sorry. All right, so you're paying attention to this breakout. This is your breakout structure, and this is your breakout. So, you know, breakout happens. Okay. So this one happens when price has represented series of bearish shoulder flow, and then price gets into your this, and then price break structure. Kevin King emphasized on this. Fortman also emphasized on this on Monday. And this one happens where, you know, there are times that price will just start presenting. Price will not even be giving any bearish shoulder flow. Price will just trigger a key level, and from here this would start happening. So this is what gives birth to this one, to this second guy. So both are important. So you cannot say one is more important than the other. This is as important as this. This is also as important as this. All right. So one thing you need to pay attention to from here is that this is everything you need, and whatever you want to do, you want to buy. This guy has given my guide. So I love to say something. The primary purpose of the breakout structure, your breakout, is to validate your direction. Note that the primary purpose of your breakout structure or the primary purpose of your breakout is to validate your direction, which means it is okay for price to not even come back before price continues buying. It is very okay for price to not come back before price continues buying. I promise you, it is very okay. The primary purpose of this guy is just to tell
Is
you.
this storyline about how little kids are getting queefed on in the park?
Oh my god. All right. So the primary purpose of this breakout structure is to validate your direction for you. All right, it is okay. I mean, primarily, yes, it is. It is okay for price to come here, but then one thing you also need to pay attention to, and the reason why I'm saying that the primary purpose of it is to validate your direction for you is just that there are times that price don't even come here before price continues buying. So which means something has been presented on the lower time frame that you did not pay attention to, all because you were rigid on price getting here. So primarily, it is okay for price not to get there before price continues buying, and this can be copied and pasted into whatever, be it you are bidding your balance with liquidity or imbalance or whatever. All right. So as regard what we have right here, with this storyline criteria. So the first thing I said, number one, is that you are paying attention to sweep/rejection/rebalance, which means if you are bidding your balance using liquidity, what you are paying attention to right there is the sweep of liquidity, which is what we have right there. If you are bidding your balance in key level, just like we have right now, you're paying attention to this rejection. And then if you are bidding your bias in imbalance, you are paying attention to rebalance. One thing we love to say, all right, is that price has two primary responsibilities: attack liquidity and rebalance and hold imbalance. So that is what we have right here. Price would rebalance this guy. So from why I wouldn't be talking about every one of them independently, but then everything we have shared right here can be copied and pasted to your liquidity and your imbalance. So the first thing you're paying attention to, sweep, rejection, and rebalance. The second thing you're paying attention to is the candle closure. All right, so this is very important. This guy has to close for us to actually build a successful this thing right there. And one thing is also that okay, so let me just put that out. Okay, one thing you also need to pay attention to is the same thing that validates a candle that has rejected can also validate a candle that is rejecting, but then you can trust that of a candle that has closed more. If you did not catch that, you might just have to watch the recording. All right, so all right, so the third thing you're paying attention to is your breakout structure, like I said. So be it you are being your balance using number one, using your key levels, liquidity or rebalance. Number two, you are paying attention to number two. So this number three right here validates it. So number one and two is, they are found on the same time frame you are bidding your bias on. While the third one right here, this guy is found on, your immediate lower time frame, like I mentioned, and I listed those immediate time frames down to the least time frame you prefer. And then let me just a brief field work right now. So talking about entries, when it comes to entries right now, all right. So now that the direction is defined, it means I have everything to pay attention to buying opportunities until price gets into a target. Remember, we treated something in that, which is why I touched W questions. So now I can say everything is linking up together right now. So I touched the W question. So it is important that on the time frame, even before you even put your entry at all, you should have a target that you expect price to get into, or you expect price to run into. That is very important. And a key level, price moves from one key level to another, price moves from one liquidity point to another, price moves from one imbalance level to another imbalance level. So just keep that right now. All right. So which means if I'm building my bias on this guy on this same time frame, it only makes sense for me to have a target level right there. For instance, it only makes sense for me to have a target level right there. So which means even if price has not gotten into this level, on the same day I found my entry, it is okay for me to keep paying attention to this guy, for me to keep trading towards this one until price gets there. Until proven otherwise. That is why, the phrase until proven otherwise simply makes you give room for flexibility. It means you are not being rigid. It means even if price gets there, and price gives me a reason to sell, I'm selling. But then remember, some price hasn't gotten to me. But then if price gets and gives me a reason to, Schofield, now we are no longer interested in buying. Now we are preparing to sell off from this moment. I mean, make room for flexibility. You should be active. All right. So that is that as regard all of these guys. So which means, from here, my weekly, my daily, and of course, on the H4 time frame now, coming back to time frame alignment, you also want to pay attention to bullish structure. All right. You want to pay attention to something like zone H4. So, a lot of us, we are intraday traders. So from this H4 time frame right now, so let's just do something about entry very briefly. So from here, we are moving into the chart right now. So someone wouldn't be saying this guy's just been using white screen. Go open chart, show chart, your chart. Yes, I will show you my chart. So from this H4 time frame right now, so it is okay for you to, so from this H4 time frame right now, this is a level you can pay attention for possible buying opportunity. This is a level you can pay attention for possible buying opportunity, and this is a level you can pay attention for possible buying opportunity. So if price ever takes me out right here, it means, we have two types of traders. I won't be going into all of that. We have the conservative and then the aggressive trader. If price ever takes you out here, price taking you out here does not mean the setup is invalid because there's another level below. Price taking out here does not mean the setup is invalid because there is another level below. And then, we have one right here now, which means the only thing that would render this guy invalid is when price ends up closing below this guy, which means now we have a breakout structure. So yes, let me just leave it that. So which means you have a breakout structure right here. So from this point now, I'll just talk about maybe just like one of the confirmation notes you can always pay attention, which is the same thing you have right here. So which is that the same thing that validates your higher time frame POV can also validate your lower time frame POV. All right. The same thing that validates your higher time frame perspective can also still validate your lower time frame perspective. Say for instance, this is H4, which means it's okay for me to have something like this on my H1 as my confirmation. So I'll be drawing the cuts in that regard, all of these examples right now, and then we go into the chart. All right. So this is a confirmation. You can always all right, so this is a confirmation you can pay attention to on your H1 and on your whatever lower time frame you prefer. And yes, let me just put this out. All right, so another confirmation you can pay attention to is that whereby a low has been taken out while the high is still standing. So which means right here, you want to pay attention to entering from here. So right here, your entry can be at this level, your entry can be at this level, and your entry can be here. But when this is a confirmation already, so which means it is not always advisable for you to even put your entry here when it comes to confirmation entry, because what if price triggers this guy and moves off? What if price triggers this one and moves off? So what is the essence of you waiting for a confirmation? And a lot of times, even your stop loss from this guy to this guy, a lot of times should be less than 15 pips on the likes of major, on those likes of EUG and the likes, even on gold. It shouldn't be so much that you shouldn't be able to bear from this guy to this one right there. And for this one, of course, your stop loss should be slightly below this one. You should always, there is no award for best in using tight stop loss. That is one thing I always tell people, unless you are the kind of person that likes to wear pencil trouser. All right, so always give your stop loss breathing space. So the fact that this one is your stop loss does not mean, you shouldn't extend your stop loss slightly to an extent. There are three ways of setting stop loss. You can, there are like three ways. So the primary one is for you to cover the invalidation zone. The second one is for you to cover at least one more key level, and the third one, I won't be repeating all these things twice. And the third one is for you to have a maximum level of stop loss. So that is all we'll be doing as regards all of this right now. So let's go to the chat. Yes, your stop loss should be baggaging. If now it won't be that. Oh yeah, so I'm using my regular pairs today. I mean, yes, I will, but maybe I wouldn't just start with them. So let us start with these are pairs I do not trade, but just to show you that even outside the pairs I trade, everything will work. So everything I've shared with you, those are the things I just pay attention to every Thursday. And the belief is I forgot to say this, the belief about Thursday expansion is this, Mondays, I love to trade Mondays. Mondays, even not that I love to, but then it is the way price has proven it to be. I love to treat Mondays like Asian session because it gives the first narrative for the week. And then, just like Asian sessions, right? It gives the first narrative. It presents whatever price is going to do all through that day. So that is also the same thing Monday does. And then talk about Fridays. Fridays are, also somehow. Fridays are somehow. It is always somehow. Let me just leave it at that. And, just pay attention to the last few hours of a trading day as well. So I would also regard that as what Friday does. And then we are left with Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday. So, and a lot of times, Monday and Tuesday, they tend to lay the foundation of whatever price is going to do through the week. So that is how the thoughts and the conviction of Thursday expansion came on. And then since September that I've realized this, price has actually been delivering as regard Thursdays. Thursdays tend to deliver. I think sometimes Monday, Tuesday does, Wednesday does sometimes as well. No lies, but then Thursday kind of delivers more when it comes to expansions. So that is just how Thursday expansion came about. So like I said, Thursday expansion isn't a strategy, and I would even say it is subjective to it. It can be Monday expansion, so it can be Tuesday expansion. But then this is just the way I tend to approach the chart every Thursday. Load your guns and load your machine, and you are good to go. So this is German 40. So what do we have on German 40? Sorry, not this guy. Okay, so US 30. So like Kevin King said, the things you want to pay attention to is you want to pay attention to structure. Structurally, we are bullish. You can see we keep having series of breaks to the upside. Structurally, we are bullish. And then on the weekly time frame, what do you want to see now? Talking about time frame alignment. So on the weekly time frame, what can you see? Now I want to talk about, I think, the price action that happened on this particular last week, so I don't have to cut price or scroll far back. So on the weekly time frame is also bullish. I love to pay attention to the most recent information. All right, I love to pay attention to the most recent information. And as I then price broke structure to the upside, which is this one right here. So one thing is you need to make the lines chart your friend. All right, price broke structure right here to the upside. And another thing we can also see is that we took out the previous weekly low. So now we are moving on. So going into the daily time frame. So monthly bullish, daily. Weekly bullish, monthly bullish, weekly bullish. Now the daily time frame is also bullish. So look at it right. We have a break of structure right there. While the previous weekly I was still standing. I said something earlier. The same thing that validates a candle that has closed also validates a floating storyline. But then the only thing is just that you can trust a storyline that is floating more. So let me just start a disclaimer right now. Do not limit yourself to everything I'll be saying right now. So it is left for you to actually build your data, so you can have enough enough conviction as regard whatever I have said and as regard whatever price does day in, day out. So like I said something like I said, the primary purpose of your break of structure is to validate your direction, see what you have right there. Price did not come here right now. But then if you are rigid on the fact that price has to come here, what happens? You would still be waiting until now. Meanwhile, we are far gone. All right. So daily time frame has defined this guy for us. So what do we have to do right now? Going to a lower time frame. Meanwhile, you still have this guy marked out. So going to a lower time frame and let us see what price does on that lower time frame. So price rejected from a certain level. Where is that level? Price rejected from this guy. You know, when we treated key levels, I've said it. I've always said this, and we've always said this, all right. And so storyline with history. You know, a few things you want to pay attention. You want to pay attention to as you what makes your storyline valid is just that there are about 5 of them. Just your key level has to break structure, sweep liquidity, have liquidity above or below, get tested at least once, that is having history right now, and then what's the last one? Overlap inside an imbalance. So I treated this extensively on my YouTube channel. So look at this right now. This is an open close. I got bearish open close. Yes, this is a plug and play key level. Yes, exactly. So we got tested a couple of times. It overlaps inside of this imbalance. So one thing you're doing right here is that remember something. You still have this guy marked out. You still have this guy marked out. You've not taken it out. All right. And one thing you're doing right now is also that you are not entering this one aggressively. No, you are not entering this one aggressively. So what you want to do right here is just that you want to build your buyer from this point. So now it means your monthly is bullish, weekly is bullish, daily is bullish, time frame alignment, and then this guy is also bullish. More time frame, becoming one more chart because my time is fast spent. All right, so on the weekly time frame, so as regard the W question, where's price coming from? Price coming from this place. Where's price currently? Like I said, you have more details to that on a lower time frame, not exactly the time frame you're bidding your buyers on. And then where's price likely there? The first target will be this one, but then we can see clearly that this is also another level that regard the last W question, which is where's price likely headed towards. So going back into that H4 time frame, I said something. I said you are not entering that guy directly. So I said something earlier as well. You cannot talk about storyline without talking about entries. So because that's more like me showing you a pack and then not telling you the boss you have to enter. So going into lower time frame, what do we have? We have H4 that rejected off and H4 key level. So everything I said as regards storyline, you can also do that as regard any time frame you're building your buyer. So I use the weekly. So for you, you can depends on whatever it is you are doing. So H4 rejected off H4, we have H1 break of structure right here, confirmation sorted out. As you can see now, I have enough reason to pay attention to entering from here over where we had on the daily time frame. Remember something. The primary purpose of your break of structure is to validate your direction for you. If price comes there, fine, and if price does not come there, you need to find a way to always position yourself. So, and this happened on a Thursday. Look at it. Thursday expansion. Boom, boom, entry right there at this level right there. And internal liquidity. There's a subject logic on liquidity. Price took out this one. It is not, those that trade single candle liquidity or those that trade CRC, they might be expecting price to come to take out this one. No. The moment this guy closes within this candle, this now becomes your new internal liquidity and not this one. All right, so price reacted from a level below it, and from there you have your expansion. So the last chart I'll be showing, that should be let me see. That's what I have on this trend pairs. Like I said, I do not want to use the pairs I'm familiar with, so someone does not feel like everything only works on the pairs Scofield trades like of EU and GU. So let me see. SPX, what do we have here? Okay, so I think I have something on SPX that's still interesting right now. So previous weekly low, but I won't be marking, so just follow through with your eyes and your mind. So previous weekly low got taken out, so it means where's price coming from? Below this one, this imbalance right there. And where's price likely there towards this one? We are yet to be there. So paying attention to what we have on the daily time frame. Daily time frame gives us a break of structure. All right, so it means from here we have every reason. Even if you be trading 1 minute time frame, see, even if you are the type that likes to trade the lower time frame, one thing you should do is that you should only trade towards that direction you've been able to define. You've been able to build your analysis towards, or build your direction towards. Let me put it that way. All right. So weekly low taking out, like I said, what validates a candle is a candle that has closed can also validate a floating candle. All right. It's more like a floating storyline right now. So we have a break of structure right there while that weekly candle was still floating. So right here, price got into this level. So let's mark this guy out. Daily has given us enough reason. So which means necessarily I don't need to do daily reject daily or breakout again. All right, but then I still can. So I'm just telling you right now that from the moment this guy has defined your perspective, there are two ways now. All right, that you can decide to do daily reject daily. And you can as well to just work with your lower time frame and bullish order flow range. So what do you have on H4 from that rejection, for instance? This is more like an aggressive entry. So this might be a confirmation entry for someone, but then price didn't get there. For a lot of us actually. So previous low taking out, the high standing, but price didn't get there. All right. So let's go into lower time frame to just pay attention to what we do have. So from that information we have earlier, weekly low taking, daily has given us reasons to pay attention to buying. So right here we have H1 break of structure. So which means from this moment right now, I have enough reason. Instead of me doing daily reject daily H for my this lower time frame confirmation, I have reason to just buy from here. I have reason to buy from this point. All right, so buy from here. Like I said, always try to put breathing space for your when it comes to your stop loss. So your entry stop loss could be somewhere around the ball. Primarily a lot of falls would have been taken out. Apart from those that prefer to use breathing space, the baggy traders, the baggaging traders. So that's it that as regards this guy. So lastly, so I said I was going to talk about, so I think my time is almost up. Let me see. Okay, so let me just touch my friend, my best friend, GBP okay, so on GGU, I'm not talking about what happened on a particular day. Okay, so yes, it's about this one. Let's talk about this guy. So let's go to the weekly time frame right now. All right, so from the weekly time frame, we can tell that we are bullish. We broke structure, we broke another structure right there. If you see lines that break of structure right there, and then so which means from this moment in where's price coming from, we can say price is currently reacting from this open close level or from this break of structure level. So we don't draw so much long line. Let's just have this. And as regard where price likely headed right now, like I said, you can always find that on the time frame you're building your bias on. You can decide to have this one, and you can also decide to have this one as your where price likely headed towards. Maybe this one as well. All right. Whatever importance you are paying to this one should also be attached to this one, because they are levels that can sponsor sales. So weekly rejected of this guy. So weekly rejected of this guy on the daily time frame. What do we have? On the daily time frame, we have this break of structure right here to the upside. So weekly bullish, daily also bullish. We have a break of structure here. So one thing about entries is that entry subjective. One thing I believe is, if you are seeing a weekly rejection, I should also see that weekly rejection. If you are seeing an H4 break of structure, I should also see that H4 break of structure 100%. 100% I need to. But when it comes to entries, the way you choose to enter, that is subjective. I might decide to enter from this guy. I might decide to enter from this guy. Someone else might prefer to enter from this one. Someone else might prefer to enter from this one. Valid. So it's left for price to just do whatever it has to do. We've done our due diligence. Weekly bullish, daily has given us a reason to also pay attention to buying opportunities. All right. So from this point, so price, I said something earlier. If you probably entered from here, price would most likely take you out. So the fact that price took you out here or here is not enough reason for you to conclude that that price is, what's the English now? That the setup has been invalidated. No, because there is still another level. Because right here is the overall invalidation level. This guy is the overall for the buys you are trying to pay attention to. This is the overall invalidation level. So price taking out here doesn't render the setup invalid, neither does this one. So daily rejected of a daily key level from this point. What do we have on the H4 time frame? So H4 time frame presented for us a break of structure right there, very tiny break of structure. So even if it is a 1 pip or 0.5 pip stop loss, nothing is valid. Nothing is random when it comes to the chart. All right, I promise you, nothing is random. So break of structure at this point, and from here, expansion. Which day? Interesting, you can see it happened on a Thursday. You cannot compare this momentum right now to all of these things that happened. Which day is this? Monday. Look at Monday through Wednesday, but then see what happened on Thursday. The expansion, interesting expansion. Like I said, Thursday expansion isn't a strategy. All right. So for you, it can be Monday expansion. For you, it can be whatever. All right. Just to ensure that you know what you are doing, and for every decision you make on the charts, it is something you're able to replicate. It is a thought process you are willing and you are able to repeat over and over again. So we've said a lot tonight. I've said a lot tonight. So do not limit yourself to everything you've heard me say tonight. So try your best to ensure that you're able to follow through all of these things, you're able to replicate, you're able to execute in alignment with all of this information that you have. And remember something, the quality of your person matters. The quality of who you are matters. All right, so it isn't just about the quality of information you are exposed to, the quality of the knowledge you are exposed to, the quality of your person, the quality of who you are, it also matters. All right, it's just like trade. It's just like athletes on G current price. That's not my job now. I've told you what you need to do already. So based on what I've shared, try to do your findings as regard whatever G is doing currently. All right. So it's just like when we have two athletes. There's one athlete that a prophet has prophesied into his life that is not an athlete passing now. So there's a guy that the prophet has prophesied into his life that is going to become a world class athlete. And there's another one that nobody prophesied into his life, but then he has just been doing this. He has been going to the gym steady. He has been practicing daily. But the other one that a prophet told him that he's going to become a world class athlete. All he does every day, he wakes up in the morning, he drinks, he eats eba. In the afternoon, he's sleeping. In the evening again, he's eating fufu. All right, and he does this every day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. There's no way that prophecy would look at. I don't think so unless he changes his habits, unless he changes the quality of who he is. But at the end of the day, the other guy that no one even prophesied into his life, he would actually become that amazing athlete, because the quality of who he is in alignment with what he's chasing towards. All right, so that is it tonight. So the quality of a person matters, not just about the quality of the knowledge you have gotten tonight. I think I would draw the curtains right here. Thank you very much, fourth man. I really, really, really appreciate. This man is such a great man. Before I hand over the microphone to him, please let me hear you guys say W fourth man in the chat, please. W fourth man in the chat. W fourth man in the chat. All right, so do not forget, like I said earlier, the core essence of this meeting is for you to dominate. It is for you to be an independent thinker, for you to stop relying on your friend for setup, for you to stop relying on whoever drops a bias on that mentorship group that you are on Twitter. So the core essence of this Final Quest and the core reason why no one is holding back is for you to become independent. So thank you very much, Fortman. Are you on the call? So I can mute myself and you can just take over from there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Let's put some fire emoji for Schofield. No, not me, not me. Don't say W Fortman. Let's give W's to Schofield. For those of us that are streaming on YouTube and those of us that are on Zoom, give some big shout out to Schofield. Give some big shout out to Schofield. I mean, if just give some big shout out to Schofield. Give some big shout out to Schofield. This is really an amazing one. See, let me not lie to you. I've been looking forward to this particular session more than any other person. I have a personal relationship. I mean, a very thriving and amazing relationship with Schofield. You understand? I could have just told him, I would have just told him, say, Schofield, let's jump on a call, show me your thought process behind, what do we call it, Thursday expansion. And he would gladly show it to me or show it to the guys in, Benjamin Protocol, and he would gladly do that. But we had to reserve this well of knowledge for the Final Quest Bootcamp. So each and every one of you, I wanted you to drop some fire emoji and tell Schofield, we love you. Thank you so much for pouring into us. I want us to appreciate him a lot in the chat. All right. Now, like we have said, all right, um, Final Quest is not just a team. Final Quest is an experience. From the word Final Quest, it means this is the event that brings an end to your search. Man is always out there searching for the why. Searching for, man is always man has this inquisitive spirit. Man always wants to know why. He's always searching for the why, searching. And that is the essence of Final Quest. It brings an end to all your search. That is why we're having Final Quest. So it is not just a team that we give to a boot camp. It's an experience. It's an experience that we have thought out carefully. All right. We want it to be not just a team. We want it to be an experience. All right. It's an end. This is where you don't search for any other knowledge no more. You're not looking for anything anywhere because you have come into the fullness of that knowledge that you're actually looking for. All right. All you have to do is just begin to repeat the same thing. All right. We want to give a big shout out to Schofield and say, thank you, Schofield. We really, really do appreciate you. Thank you for pouring into us. The first day, I opened the first day. The second day, we had Kelvin King. Today, we had Schofield. Tomorrow, we're going to be having FZ. And on the last day, we're going to be having a Motaya. All right. Somebody told me that we should bring links. I don't know how we want to bring links. All right. Everybody wants to listen to links. And, Links is one of those guys that trades plug and play. If you have heard me talk about plug and play a lot, Links is one of those guys that trades plug and play very well. All right. It's an amazing one. So let me quickly say this. Schofield has a YouTube channel. All right. Schofield has a YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel has been plugged in the comment section. All right. All you have to do is search for Trade with Schofield on YouTube. Just like you can see on the screen, Trade with Schofield. And you are good to go. All right. We want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you for joining consistently. And don't forget, as a core principle is for you to be able to be a beneficiary of all of the accounts that our sponsors has given: GFT, Equity Edge, MEC funded, and Blueberry funded. For you to be able to be a beneficiary, you need to be an active participant. And just immediately as we end tonight's live stream, all right, for the day 3 of the Final Quest Bootcamp, we want you to take a screenshot. We want you to take a screenshot, a picture of your notes, picture of maybe you were writing on your note or whatever it is. Make a post tonight and share it. Tag me, tag Bishop, tag Ichiban, tag Schofield. Just tag me as many people. We are actually on the lookout. And like I said, we've started picking people already that we are going to be reaching out to personally before the end or after the end of this bootcamp to claim their account across the multiple prop firms that has sponsored this particular bootcamp. Once again, want to give a big shout out to all our sponsors: GFT, Blueberry funded, Equity Edge, and MEC funded. All right. We are hoping that Marvin, before the end of this bootcamp, Marvin is going to commit to us. All right. I still got a message from the CEO today. So we are hoping that before the end of this bootcamp, Marvin is going to maybe give to us 10 accounts, 20 accounts, right? We want to have as much as possible so that, I mean, you are not going to be leaving empty-handed. As long as you're actively participating, you're not going to be leaving empty-handed. Once again, my name is Fortman. Never forget, simplicity is what brings clarity. And like we always say, all right, that the simplest instruction is what yields the best results. My name is Fortman, and once again, I approve of this teaching. All right, let's all have a wonderful week, and also have a restful Sunday evening. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow for day 4